Guys, deluded Gooner, Arsenal 3, Watford 0, and that's what it feels like to finally get 3 points in the Premier League again. I mean, it's been a madness today. I mean, we've got 3 points, we've kept a clean sheet, we've scored some goals, we've actually played all right. It's been a decent week as an Arsenal fan in this mad season, man. I've told you guys, we have to ride our highs as Arsenal fans when we get them, man. At least for this 24 hours before, well, second leg, I'd like to think we continue as well, hopefully, as we mean to go on. But at least for 24 hours, we can be happy, man. It was a good performance, credit where due, each a man to a man. So let's get into it, man. I've started waffling. Going into the game, there's not much to be said. Top four is a myth. The lineup gave you a clue as to how much of importance our league campaign is now to Wenger. I mean, several players was taken out of the side. Bellerin, we know he's injured. Monreal's not been about for a minute. Iwobi came into the side. Welbs came out of the side. We had a young bench essentially with Nelson, who unfortunately didn't get to come on. Willock, and Ketia and several other players like that. Chambers, he's had problems. He was there. Jack was dropped to the bench, as was Ramsey. Koscielny was missing. There was a lot of changes, obviously, in regards to the game on Thursday, trying to complete that job. So yeah. It felt like something was in the air going into the game, to be honest with you, especially in the opening stages. It felt like the players just looked a bit more serious. Like Czech looked like if looks could kill, he would have caught about 2 bodies today. But yeah, first 10 minutes especially, we looked sharp, man. Everybody looked up for it. If I had to pick out players in particular, Maitland-Niles was offering something now and then. Ozil was obviously had a good game, but especially in the first half. Players like that, Aubameyang was showing what he was on, running in behind and things. So it looked like we were going to do something. We were getting the ball down, we were zipping it, holding as well. It looked like everybody wanted the ball. We had some opportunities early on, which we didn't take. Second minute or so, Ozil put in Aubameyang and he was a bit rusty, didn't finish it. He had a couple chances like that. So yeah, man. We really should have scored initially. Watford didn't really look like they were trying to ball play and have a go, at least in the opening stages prior to us scoring a goal. And one criticism is that we didn't score sooner, but we scored from a set pieces. Another madness today. I mean, stats don't back it up. It says we're actually productive in front of set pieces, but I've been very critical of us from that, and I've made videos about it. And credit where it's due. Similar to when we beat Spurs, it's the same German link-up. It's a Mustafi header, courtesy of an Ozil free kick. It was floated in. Poor marking from Watford, but we'll take that. I mean, we normally say that about us. It's 1-0 to Arsenal, and it's about how we means to go on. That being said, they had an opportunity almost several seconds after scoring, to be honest with you, and it's like they decided to wake up. The Corey started to get onto the ball. Their fullback started to offer an outlet and stuff, and they looked like they were going to cause us problems. I mean, although for all our possession and things like that, it was only 1-0, and players like Richarlison, I do believe he had a stinker, but he was showing little incidences of getting into pockets behind Maitland-Niles, behind Rob Holding, over to Kohler as well, getting in them pockets. There was an incident, I can't remember if it was the 18th minute or so, he did exactly that and he shot into the side netting. They didn't really have any other chances other than that. That was probably their best chance. In fact, tell a lie, Richarlison had put in a good free kick and it was questionable. It was a questionable save run check because he spilled it into a dangerous area. Pereira should have scored, and if he scores, it's 1-1 and it could be a completely different game. The one player, I'm not to single players out, but in the first half I wasn't happy with Iwobi. I wasn't happy with Iwobi's game throughout, but I don't feel he offered anything. I don't feel he did anything of note, to be honest. Anytime he put the ball in, it wasn't going past his first man and things like that. But yeah, throughout the first half, you're just thinking we need more. And if I'm critical, we need to create more chances for all our play. We're not really testing the keeper. Ozil danced around and the keeper saved. I've never seen that keeper in my life, but he was on job, to be honest. And I rarely say that about keepers letting 3 goals. He done that. He denied Aubameyang. I'm so sure Mkhitaryan had an opportunity. Saying that as well, last 5-10 minutes of that first half, we were under a bit of pressure. They had a lot of corners. They put us under a lot of pressure. At times, we weren't really clearing our lines. It was lovely to see us not panic and play out of possession at times. But by that same logic, there was just times where many players, you saw the game yourselves, many players were clearing it, weren't clearing it convincingly, were giving the ball away in silly areas. Mkhitaryan did that in the first half a couple of times, to be honest with you. But going into half-time, you're thinking, all right, cool, credit where due. Certainly in the league, I know we saw it on Thursday, but certainly in the league, we haven't seen a performance like that, home or away, in a minute. We know Watford with the whole no cojones and all of these things. We needed to win today. We're not going to get top 4, but it's, if nothing more, just a feel-good factor. It's what we were doing all of these things. The only criticism is that it's only 1-0, and if you're a Watford player, at least at half time, there's enough to honestly encourage you to want to get something out of the game or believe you can get something. Not because we're playing poorly, it's because they are the scorelines, and all it takes is one mistake. Then the second half comes, and I mean, there was you saw the second half. I mean, who grabbed the second? I believe it was Aubameyang in the 60th minute or so. I mean, lovely ball from Mkhitaryan, who's got his radars on at this point. Found his former Dortmund teammate. Obviously, Aubameyang, it's a lovely run, to be honest, off the ball. If you can get a chance to watch it, go and watch it. It's a lovely run. He rounds the keeper, keeps a cool head, and he slots it home, man. It's a bit of a miskick of sorts, but he scores again, and that's what he signed to do. It's 2-0 at this point. Shortly after, though, it could have went a different way. It could have been 2-1. The clean sheet could have been ruined for Czech and the back four, because Maitland-Niles a bit of lapse in concentration, silly little lazy leg. I know you're not a fullback, but you had a good performance, and you're still a young player, and I feel you was one of the better players today, but you probably be upset slightly with yourself for that. Could you say it's a harsh pen and there's no need to give it as a pen? You could say that, but at the end of the day, the ref was given a decision to make. Lazy leg. It goes and there's a penalty. Deeney, the man that's talking about no cojones and all of these things, steps up, Czech saves it, and I can't believe my eyes at this point. We've saved a penalty. Like, there's tears in my eyes. Like, we've saved a penalty. We're moving mad right now. But yeah, and it couldn't have happened to a better person to have their penalty saved based on the game, innit? Deeney was just, you know when people say Jack Wilshere gets it, when you're losing and you just want to fight everyone. That's how Deeney was trying to carry on today, and it just, especially when Ozil got injured. But he missed his pen. It's 2-0 at this point, and 2-0 is a good scoreline. We're good for it. We're playing good football. But by that same logic, one goal, the game could change, especially us as Arsenal fans, or as Arsenal are, as we've been as a club for the last couple of games. You're thinking we kind of need to kill this game off, and Mkhitaryan does exactly that. Eventually, he gets the third in the 76th minute or so. Aubameyang, who scored, turns provider, so it's another link up. So they've done their job. It's 3-0 at this point. The game's done. Like, there's not much more you could be said. We rested several players. The players that came in played very well. Credit where it's due. Czech, there was a couple poor clearances and a questionable saves, but he stepped up to save the pen, and you also, by that logic, made some saves. Credit where it's due. Everybody was equal to the task. Now it's just about using the same principles and the same spirit on Thursday, and just getting the job done and not letting Milan get anything out of the game, to be honest with you, and avoiding some sort of comeback of sorts in Europe. So yeah, credit to the players, man. But on that note, guys, the Lou Laguna YouTubes and N'Golo Kante, Arsenal 3, Watford 0. I'm out.